Do you suffer from the I'll be happy when syndrome? Do you postpone your happiness until you reach X goal? Today's episode, I'll be sharing with you guys some of my challenges along with my trial and error, and hopefully you could resonate with some of this. So, over the years, I've witnessed many lifters who suffered from the I'll be happy when syndrome, myself included. But more in particular, I noticed this in a lot of novices. So, on one end of the spectrum, you have a lot of lifters who are on the skinny side who want to bulk up, and then you maybe have some overweight lifters who want to lean down a bit. So maybe Johnny, he's 130, he wants to get to 170, and maybe Bill, he's 230, he wants to get to 185, whatever the case is. And then you have the strength standards. So maybe Johnny, he's lifting 130 on the bench, 135, he wants to get to 2 plates, and maybe Bill is lifting 225 and he wants to get to 275. So what happens is a lot of these lifters will postpone their happiness until they reach X goal. But my question is, why can't you be happy throughout the process while you're on your quest to achieve these numbers? So if you're going through something similar, just know that I can relate to you on some kind of level because I've been through the same thing and I still am going through it to a certain extent, but it's a lot less than it was before. So to give you guys a brief example, when I was weighing around 140 to 145, I told myself once I get to 160, then I'll be happy. It's a good 15 pounds. It's going to fill up my frame a bit more and I'll feel a lot better. But once I got to that weight, didn't really make much of a difference. Keep in mind, my goal was not to get super shredded, super lean. I was going more for the strongman, off-season bodybuilder type look. So that was kind of like my lane. Then once I got to 160, I wasn't happy. So I upped it up. After a couple years, I got to 180, 185. And I felt a little bit better. That was the first time I was able to look at myself in the mirror and say, wow, I look like I exercise, look like I train. And people started noticing as well, which is a nice little side effect. But I still wasn't content. So the 180s were cool, but I still didn't have the desired physique that I was looking for. So I decided to bump up to 200 pounds. I felt like that was going to be a nice number. And I felt like a lot of my problems were going to be solved by blindlessly just chasing these numbers. Now keep in mind, there was nothing wrong with what I was doing. I was training 3 days a week. I was doing a lot of strongman style GPP, a lot of carries. And as far as cardio was concerned, I was playing a lot of pickup games of basketball. And from a nutritional standpoint, I was clean bulking most of the time. At least 90% of what I ate was clean. So from the outside perspective, things looked like they were going very well, but it became very problematic from an internal perspective because I wasn't happy throughout the whole process. I wasn't giving myself a nice pat on the back and saying, good job, you reached X goal. Even though I had a lot of people around me saying, Phil, you're reaching the goals you want to reach, but it seems like you're just getting more grumpy, you're getting more pissed off. Why is that? One day, something very interesting happened. I was playing a pickup game of basketball, jumped for a rebound, landed on someone's foot and I tore my ACL. So a couple weeks later, I realized I had to get the surgery. And then once I got the surgery, it put me in a position where I spent a lot of time in bed trying to recover with physio and that kind of stuff. And it made me reflect a lot more about why I'm so unhappy because I'm lying in bed, I can't train. But then I thought to myself, even when I was training, what difference does it make? It's not like I was that happy anyways. And then it really put things in a different perspective for me. I started seeing things through a different lens and I started appreciating things more because I realized that I had it good all along. I was training, I was eating well, I was moving my body, doing all this stuff. And it's only then when I lost a lot of what I worked for that I started to appreciate it a lot more. So then once things started getting better with my knee and I started jumping back into training, I started approaching things in a different way. There was a lot of rehab involved and it forced me to be more happy with wherever I was in my fitness journey because I realized that it's a privilege to be able to move. It's a luxury to be able to train. There's a lot of people who can't even do this. But then once again, I went back to my old habits where I slowly started becoming more and more unhappy and I'm like, okay, I'm at 200 now. Let me get to 225, 230, just like some of these strongman guys. So then long story short, I got to that weight, decided to cut down. Then I've been at around 210 for maybe a good 2 years or so, which I'm a lot more happy at this weight. But I just want to summarize this story by saying that I basically postponed my happiness for a couple of years when I shouldn't have. What I should have done instead is just been happy throughout the process and enjoyed where I actually was. I know it was a long story on my part, but just know that this relates right back to you because if you're a novice, you can make so much progress so fast. You could follow linear progression systems, add 5 pounds a week to a lot of the big barbell lifts, and the progress is going to be the most anabolic, if you will. You're never going to get more anabolic progress than when you're a novice lifter. Then once you get to intermediate, then once you get to advanced, things start slowing down a lot more. But even if you're an intermediate or an advanced lifter, you should still enjoy it either way. Because if you're an advanced lifter, you're advanced. You know, you've put in years and years of work and you have an elite level physique, at least for most of the general population. You walk into any room, you're most likely stronger and bigger than all of them. So you should be happy and grateful about that too. And that's another thing about happiness. A lot of happiness has to do with gratitude. And if you don't have gratitude, you're not thankful for what you have, and you're only focusing and you're only fixated on what you don't have, then you're forever going to be miserable. I've learned throughout my journey and some of what you've witnessed on this channel that sometimes you actually have to lose yourself to find out who you really are. And one of my favorite sayings is that sometimes when you're chasing a dream, you get lost and find an even better one on the way. And that's kind of what happened to me. I realized over time that, yes, I was chasing these numbers and it's good to set goals, but I realized over time that my life has a way bigger purpose than just setting these goals. I'm not put on this planet, and my legacy is not about just achieving these numbers. I want to have bigger impact. I want to reach a broader audience, and I want to influence the world with a lot of videos like this. So what I'm inviting you guys to do right now is to enjoy the process, experience life, embrace the pain, and stop chasing instant gratification. It's so easy nowadays to spend more time on social media and to try to get likes from other people. But the real question is, do you like yourself? Are you happy yourself? It doesn't matter how happy you appear, but how happy are you internally? If you're relying on social media and instant gratification to make you happy, then you're in for a big surprise, because the best things in life come with a lot of buildup. The best moments in life have a lot of buildup. They don't happen very fast. They happen very slowly over time, and it takes years and years for these things to build up, sometimes even decades. But once you actually get to that point and once you enjoy the process, then you'll really reap the rewards. So try not to be too mad about your hardships and all the difficult times that you're going through right now, because it's only going to make you a better person. It's only going to make you wiser, and what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So I hope you got some value out of today's episode, and I hope that you start enjoying the process, because you'll start to realize over time that the destination is overrated and the real growth of character lies within the journey.